Hey guys, right, so I haven't been out on the road for like nearly a week now. What is it? Oh, it's Tuesday, so I was last week. And I've mentioned my chain being knackered. Well, I thought it was knackered. I got a new chain. I fitted that with a replica type. This is a high level tool of the DID KM500R. Apart from a couple of problems, if you have, I bent one of the pins. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And also, these are not the ones for this chain because it doesn't have a groove on. I have ordered another with the groove on from DID, but it's got to come from America. So I probably will have left this house by then. If you get one of these, the reason I bent the pin, the pin's different for this chain because of the size. It's just because of that link. But what I found, the reason I bent it was while I was using this, the rivet on the back side couldn't go through that hole. So I had to drill it out. I think I drilled it to like an 8mm, 8 or an 8.5 on my pillar drill at like 200 RPM. So don't try and do it with hand drill, you'll just be going too fast. Unless you have one of these fancy ones. But anyhow, what else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, and grind your heads off. It's not, the pins are that weak, but it might work with that hole drill. Yeah, it turned out not to be the chain. Someone else had agreed with me and felt really bad and was offering me money to cover half the chain because they said, oh, I said it was the chain as well. No, it wasn't. You'll notice the entire back end's out because when I went into the wheel, you've got your two wheel bearings and you've got your sprocket. So they're your wheel bearings, which on this bike are 6204 2RS. Make sure you get 2RS. It means that there's a rubber seal on both sides. The sprocket carrier bearing, a 6206 RS, or at least this was an RS, has one rubber seal which is gone, and you can see that is goosed. It is completely knackered. So I've ordered a new 2RS version of that, along with all the seals and everything else. While I was doing that, there was a lip. What happens on brakes, obviously you get wear, so there's a lip on this edge. What I'd like to do is take them off if I can, and then spin it around on my pillar drill with a belt flat disc going, just to take that lip off. It just makes life easier when doing brake pads. But then I snapped one of the bolts.
Shit. Cancel that.
I'd read about like this happening and it's bad, so I've got some new bolts. I had to drill them out, and there's the new bolts for them. What else? And while I was in there, the brake pads have worn really badly on that side, like really badly. I actually think that is to do with the sprocket carrier bearing. Matt had this problem, his wheel was sitting like that on his brake. Not one of us thought sprocket carrier bearing, we all thought wheel bearing.
Right, it's Matt. Welcome back to the shop, and we're back on the SV, and what we're looking at here, if I zoom in, you can see there that this is our problem. Our disc is contacting the bracket. So if I give the tyre a boot, she's moving for some reason. So it's either a warped disc or our bearings are shot.
But my wheel bearings seem fine. I think Matt's were just a sprocket carrier. So then I think they're about a year old and they're knackered. They look at the state of them. So I've got a new set of them coming. The pins. Now I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but about there's a big groove. So they're goosed. If there's like slight rust on the tops, I'll put them in the pillar drill, a little bit of sandpaper, smooth them off, but no. So, some new brake pad pins. While I was in there, I looked at my brake bleed valves. I've cleaned all this, believe it or not, as well as it can for a knackered thing. The brake bleed valves on this. Hang on, am I being blind? Right, there they are. I am being blind. Rusty as hell. I have known them to snap, so I bought some new ones with the rubber jobbies because the rubber jobby, there's only one of them left. I just keep plus gassing these like every day that's been sat here. I've cleaned out the inside because there's places that where I just wasn't able to clean, so I cleaned all that out. My sprocket, I gave it a little bit of a clean on the outside, not much, and obviously not much at all on that side, and then just gave it a bit of a paint on the inside. That's got to come off again for me to press the bearing in when that arrives. And then everything else has been cleaned using a toothbrush or that, what do you call it, dustpan and brush. Got a couple of them flowing about. Everything's had the grease removed, cleaned up anything I needed to, and then everything will be re-greased, put back in. So that's, oh, and I cleaned up that as well. They're the back end spaces. So that's why I haven't been on the road. I'm really sorry, guys. Everything's been going wrong this week. So I've had, you know, the little key fob for the alarm, which isn't there, it's on the side. That broke when I was 20 odd mile away. Thank God I had a spare. My vape broke, so I've had to buy a new vape. This just arrived like half an hour ago. Cool little thing. I need better juice for it though. And lots of little pieces are arriving. So I'm hoping the bearings will arrive tomorrow, and then that will be ready back on the road and I can go and do stuff. Because I'm so bored, I really am. I still haven't finished my promo video and I've got stuff sat there. I've got like 20 quid worth of stuff to waste just for the video. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to slowly get some pieces fired together here, I think. No, I'm not. I need to put my bearings in before I put that in. Can't put the brake pins in because I haven't got the brakes. All I can really do at the moment is the bleed valves. So I'm going to go, and that'll take me probably 20 minutes if they're seized in there. But like I say, I'll be back soon. Really sorry, guys. Take care.